welcome. I'm Chris, and welcome to week 20 of the Milan Art Institute program. Well, my journey through it. This week was spray paint. So on the finding your voice front, we did the DISC assessment. So that's to find your temperament and how you like to work. So and it may be different. The way you are in the studio may actually be different than how you are socially or at work, because perhaps your job requires a different kind of temperament than what you naturally are. So you go through and you read the different descriptions of how different temperaments are in the studio and how they like to work, and you kind of highlight things that sound like you, and then whichever one's kind of got the most highlighted elements, that's your temperament. So I'm actually a D temperament, which is direct, and so then we discuss. So then you kind of get an understanding that how you like to work in the studio is part of a type, and you can learn to lean into that. So it's things like, I like to work fast. I'm task focused. I don't get distracted by people very easily, which is, for better, for worse. I don't have trouble getting into the studio. I can be a bit organized, and I do actually organize when I'm thinking about making a painting and I'm thinking in layers and what I want to experiment with. I actually write it down, sort of what's the first layer, what's the next layer. So I'm actually pretty organized and have a system for how I like to work. And then we looked at what type of artwork each temperament type makes. So a D temperament makes power impact artwork. So sometimes it's a bit confrontational. And one of the things that she mentioned is if it's artwork of people, then they tend to be looking at you. They're looking at you. It's absolutely, they can see, Anyway, and that was when I've been doing my artwork reflections over the last couple of years, trying to think about what my artwork's about and how to describe it. A lot of my girls, I love to paint the eyes, and a lot of them are looking at you. So that's one thing we like. Our work has a lot of contrast. We're not afraid of color. So knowing those things, this week I tried to lean into it. So earlier on they were talking about taste, and I was kind of thinking, I guess to refine my taste, I guess I need to include more neutrals. But then in my personality type, it's not about neutrals. It's about color, and it's about high contrast. And for my temperament type, spray paints are quite a, we tend to love spray paint. So this is spray paint week. And I tried to lean into that, loving, I love purples and pinks and teals. So I just went with it. One of the interesting things that she said, and this is a mic drop moment, is that your work is not necessarily going to be your favorite work. And so as I've been looking at these pieces, as I've said in the videos, I don't necessarily like them. They're not my favorite. I'm not feeling it. And Ellie said, that's totally normal. It's probably actually what pushes your artwork forward, is that you don't love your work. So you're okay, well, next time I'm going to make something that I love. So the real question isn't, do you like the work? Do I like the work? Is it me? Whatever it is me. It just comes out of me naturally. The question is, did I enjoy making it? Did I make it in a way that's conducive to my temperament and my personality? So with that said, these pieces, I feel like they took a little bit longer than I would have liked for my temperament, but I think that's just because I'm learning and figuring out my process. And once I figured that out, then I should be able to work faster. But other than that, I did quite enjoy it. These are quite different. I think I like the graphic nature of them. I like the color, but they're quite different from the other stuff I've done. And I think I'll keep working on it. So one thing she also said was that depending on your temperament type in the DISC circle, the people who will be attracted to your work are opposite temperament of what you are. So for me, it would be people who are S-type temperament would be attracted to my work. And then I am going to be attracted to S-type work as well. And as I've looked through some of the Pinterest boards that they've had us create and been going to galleries and stuff, looking at work, I can see that, yeah, I am quite attracted to the sort of S-type work, which is like real minimal and simple and sort of almost like minimal human interference. Almost like you just let the materials do what they're going to do, and it's all a bit ghostly and stuff. So anyway, that was week 20, and we're getting there. I'm getting happier with the process and understanding a little bit more about what it is like to be an artist, that the inner struggles that we deal with are just part of the process. So yeah, stay tuned for next week. We'll see what happens. If you like what you see and you want to know more about my journey, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on social media, or read the blog on my website. All right, see you next week.